Welcome to Liquid Carnage. This is Jason.
I'm Scott.
And we're very excited again. We've had some repeat people come over to be our special guests.
That's true. It helps having them live down the street and be able to come here very, very quickly at a moment's notice when we need some other voices on the podcast.
First, we'll introduce our new intern, Drew. Drew, thanks for coming by.
Is he really our new intern? He's just our secondary intern.
Well, he's new. He's been here more than our real intern.
That's true. I guess you've been promoted. You're now intern number 1.
Oh, excellent.
So whenever we record, you have to be here until the other one shows up again.
Oh, okay. I can do that. You can leave me in the closet under the stairs.
So you're saying you'll come out of the closet to be on the show?
No, I was trying to be more like Harry Potter, but I guess, yeah, I'll be in the closet.
Okay, so Drew is opting to come out of the closet to be on the show with us here, so we appreciate that, Drew.
Yeah.
Thanks for being so open. This is a very safe environment here on Liquid Carnage, so we accept you no matter what. Also, here we have a friend of the show, her second time here, Suzy Conklin. Suzy, welcome back.
Hello.
Last time Suzy and Drew were here, we had a great discussion on can men and women be in a best friend relationship and not have a sexual connotation to it, and I think we, just to recap, agreed the answer is
the
no.
Secretariat got beat pretty bad on that one.
Yeah.
We beat that head horse.
Yeah.
You get it? Like play.
So in that discussion, though, we did talk about, or the idea of red flags, deal breakers, and pickup lines did get brought up, so we thought we'd bring everyone back here for another discussion on another day about those items themselves. Deal breakers, red flags, and pickup lines. But I think if we're going to do this, we have to do this organically. We have to start with the pickup line.
Okay. Hey,
I think because you don't find out anything else until you use the pickup line that works.
Okay. And define a pickup line. Like, what's the purpose of the pickup line?
I'm going to defer to Suzy on this because she is probably the queen of lines used on her.
Oh, that's true. You probably had a lot more lines than I've ever used.
Because for the podcast folks listening, Suzy's a very beautiful woman, so she gets hit on quite a bit. So she's going to have the most knowledge here on this. So we're going to let her just kind of lead the discussion on pickup line.
So I would think the reason that a man comes to a woman with a pickup line is because he's too afraid to just say, "Hello, my name is so-and-so. Would you like a beer?"
Oh, maybe he is too afraid that his real thought process is, "Hello, let's go bang."
That could be it too.
Maybe.
That could be it too.
You're assuming we're all gentlemen. Some of us are not.
That's very true. That's very true.
So why do you think they're afraid?
Well, I'm sure everybody has insecurities. So I'm sure, I'm not the most gorgeous person, but I'm fairly attractive. So coming up to me, it could be intimidating to talk to me. So I could understand why someone comes to me with a pickup line. However, if someone comes to me and says, "Hey, does this hat make me look fat?"
Do you say no, your face does?
That's exactly what I said. Because you know why? I am trying to have a nice conversation with my girlfriend. We are sitting there, we're having drinks, we're having a conversation.
So
I'm not trying to hear this guy that has this hat with this fat face.
So ironically, I'm wearing a hat and I do have a fat face, and it was not me. So let's just clarify that right now. And it was not before the show. I promise you that. So in your world, do you prefer a guy to be just straightforward and say, "Hey, my name's so and so. I think you're a beautiful woman. Can I buy you a beer?"
Most definitely.
Wow. Okay.
So that works. So guys, remember,
I don't know if that works.
Well, keep it simple.
It definitely works.
How
Keep
about
it
this?
simple.
Wait a minute though. But sometimes the humor might be enough to say he's funny.
Or if someone said, I've had some. You look like my next wife.
Oh.
Now, was that man?
It was kind of funny.
Did he show you his AARP card when he, when he said that?
You look like my next wife.
Like, did he push his walker right in front of you to stop you from? I mean,
he wasn't that old, Scott.
He was only 55. That's all right.
Whoa.
He was in his 30s.
Oh, wow.
I think it's also the delivery, though, too, because obviously if you have a guy come up to you and say, I think you're really pretty, and can I buy you a beer? Yeah. You're probably not going to...
I'm like, I would feel bad for him, so I'd probably accept the beer. I'd chat with him for a little bit because I would feel bad.
So you're accepting a pity beer?
I would do a pity beer.
Wow, that's good. That's nice.
That's good to know. If you don't speak with any confidence,
you
could fall victim to a pity beer.
Yeah.
And you know what? At that point, though, I will give the guy credit for
He tried.
for trying. But guys, if you're gonna try, have some confidence.
It's going
I
to be
love
very.
confidence.
It's going to be very expensive to keep trying.
Exactly.
Like that.
Exactly. I mean, if that's your best, like, excuse me, would it be cool if I bought you a beer sometime, dude? Come on.
Yeah.
That's
sad.
why some ladies go for the assholes, because they're confident, because they don't.
And that's the truth.
That is
So
the truth. Yeah.
let's lead into this then. What are some of the best worst pickup lines used on you?
So that would probably be the best worst one was the hat with the face. I've had everything from someone throwing a dollar bill on the table saying, have you ever been to the buffet? I'm like, well, who hasn't? Well, because I'm ready to eat everything under this dollar.
Oh my god.
That was in a bar.
That was actually
Not attractive.
wow.
That's not good. That's not. Good.
No.
Wow.
Don't they put people on a list for that kind of thing?
You would think so. He probably was, but they still let him in the bar.
Ugh.
So we've all used bad pickup lines because with age comes maturity, and with maturity comes realizing you don't need bad pickup lines. But at some point, we've all used them. We've all been terrible at them. I admit I've been the one that's been unconfident and probably had to buy a lot of pity beers over the years.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You're not sorry. I'm sure some of them went to you way back in the day.
I think I got some beers off you.
Yeah, you did.
Be as shy as you want.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm gonna let him buy me 4 or 5 more shots.
Yeah, I think that women have a very good sense of what guy is confident and what guy is.
Yeah, and
Almost
I think definitely, you know, in my younger days, thinking pickup lines were the right way versus my thought process now. I don't think I know I wouldn't use a pickup line.
What's been the most successful pickup line?
You know the answer to this because you love this.
I know, but our podcast viewers may not.
It's embarrassing. It was a few years back. We were a buddy of mine were out at a restaurant watching a football game, and a waitress was sitting by herself. And I went over to her.
God, you have something for waitresses. You didn't. The last
what is
podcast you hit on some chick at the Applebee's or whatever.
When it wasn't Applebee's, it was a Yard House, and she wasn't a waitress. She was a patron. Get your stories. You have to fact check everything.
At Liquid Carnage,
At
if you're
Liquid
out
Carnage.
there and you know you're the one who was
I
at the Yard
urge
House.
you, if you ever host a podcast with Jason Edgeworth, make sure you have a fact checker here, because he will twist everything. No, this was a waitress. She was sitting by herself, and I walked over to her after a few cocktails, and I looked at her and said, "Can I buy you a drink?" And she said, No, thank you. I'm working and I have a boyfriend. And I said, well, I've got 3 goldfish. And she goes, well, what does that mean? I said, I thought we were talking about things that don't matter. And I think she liked the confidence because I was able to take her out later on that night when she got off work. So
I have to ask because that's Liquid Courage.
Not Carnage. That was Liquid Courage.
Courage. Does
Yeah.
that help? I mean, does having the Liquid Courage help in that?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
However,
Too much.
if someone is like
Sloppy with it.
really drunk and they come at you and want your number, I have given 8675309 as my number one.
Jenny, who can I run to?
And you know what really sucks is I ran into that individual 2 days later, and he said, "Hey, I really did not think that he would even remember me because he was that wasted."
Holy fuck.
I saw him 2 days later. He's like, "Hey, Suzy, right?" I'm like, yeah. I've been trying to call you on that number you gave me, and it's not going through. I said, "Oh, well, what area code did you put?" Well, I put 928. I was like, "Oh man, I'm from Phoenix. It's 604 8675309."
Well, it's funny because
So then I'm like, I turned to my friend. I'm like, "Let's get our food to go. We gotta go right now. I'll meet you at the car." Boom, gone.
long story short, Susie gave him the wrong area code even for Phoenix and can no longer go to Chipotle during certain hours because the guy works there. I'm just kidding. I don't know if he works there, but
Drew, what's the best pickup line you've had?
Used on me?
both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never had one used on me.
Yeah, I don't get that privilege.
Yeah,
I
I don't either.
I normally don't either. I legit had a girl who I went on a date with, and halfway through the date, she says, my, I wouldn't need a teaspoon of sugar to swallow you down.
Whoa!
Drew!
I looked at her with a scared look because as hot as it was, I was surprised. I was this was out of left field, and I said, "Are you for real right now?" And she said, "I just like using pickup lines on guys to see how it works." Now, the date went fine. We didn't go anywhere like that.
Did you give her a teaspoon of sugar, or did you omit that?
I prefer not to say.
That's a yes.
Pineapple juice does wonders. I'll just tell you that. People say it doesn't
so I've
work.
Heard.
Oh my god.
So I've heard.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Now, I normally am not one to use pickup lines. When approaching girls at the bar or whatever, I have always gone up, introduced myself, ordered a beer, asked them if they wanted a drink, and just tried to have a natural conversation. Just ask them who they are, what they do, ask them about, where they live and what they like to do. Usually those things that you talk about with just any stranger, it works as a decent entry to conversation.
So you make small talk trying to find that connection, trying to find something to...
Well,
that's the way to go about it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say small talk.
Like-
I usually try to talk about meaningful things because that's how people remember talking to you.
Hi, my name's Drew. Do you come here often? Yeah, that doesn't...
Hey, baby, do you have a map? Because, honey, I'm getting lost in your eyes.
Oh, geez.
I always love the one, did it hurt? Did it hurt when you fell from heaven?
Oh, I've
come
got
on.
that one.
Have you?
That's a nice shirt. Can I talk you out of it?
Now, my favorite icebreaker that I've heard of is Titanic. And when someone says, okay, why Titanic? You say, I don't know, it was really bad at breaking the ice.
Oh. See, there's one that our friend uses. Excuse me, do you know how much a polar bear weighs? And they say, why? No, I don't. Do you? And he says, well, enough to break the ice. Hi, my name is.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he's engaged now, so I'm assuming it worked at least once.
That's the one that he also says, that's the one he says, my name is Sam, but you can just call me Dick for short. And they say, well, how do you get Dick out of Sam? He asks nicely.
That's really funny.
Yeah,
That's
no,
really funny.
I guess it also depends on the delivery because
There's a sleazy way to do it, and then there's a, I'm just a funny guy, just having a good time. I just want to make you laugh. If I can make you smile, generally that means you might give me a chance to say something else where I won't, you want me to let you buy you a drink. Not a pity beer, but a real beer. I'm always going to remember a pity beer from this conversation moving
You're
forward.
welcome.
Yeah. Susie has coined the phrase pity beer here on Liquid
and now
Courage.
you're going to totally reevaluate your beer buying.
Exactly. I was like, is this a pity beer? No? All right, you can have one.
I do like the fact of being bold and not being overbearing, though. Because
No.
that is kind of cheesy.
Well, I think you have to know when to walk away, too. Like, if you see it's not going anywhere or she's just not interested, guys, walk away. There's no shame in walking away. You came, you saw, you tried. It's cool. Man, just go. Go back to your table. Go back and finish your conversation with your buddies. Just don't beat a dead horse on this thing. If she's
Yeah,
not,
but sometimes they just need to be reminded why you're such a beast. So you have to go to them again and again.
I don't
and
think
again
so.
and
I think if you go up there and you say something funny, introduce her, you buy her a beer, you mix a small talk, then you go away. If she's interested, she'll find a way to come back and talk to you again. Am I wrong with that?
You're right.
I mean, if she is interested, she will find a way to come talk to you.
No, because women are just as shy as guys.
No, but
Not nowadays.
you've already
Not
broken the
nowadays.
ice. You've already broken the ice at that point. You've bought her a beer. It's not a pity beer at that point if she comes back to you. It's a legit beer. It's a she's interested beer.
Actually, I don't know if that's 100% true either.
Thank you, Drew.
And you say she needs a refill? Is that what it is?
No, and actually I said that before remembering exactly what happened. I offered to buy someone a drink once, and she took it, and we had a nice conversation. And I didn't expect a whole lot. It was just conversation, and I asked her for her number, and I got it. And then when her friends came back from outside smoking, because I was hanging out with her friends, actually, and I had just met her. When her friends came back from smoking, she gave me the cold shoulder suddenly.
Oh.
And I tried texting her to ask her out on a date, I think later that week or the next week. It wasn't very long. And I got the cold shoulder again. And I couldn't figure it out. And it turned out from one of my friends that she was kind of seeing a guy and didn't want to be seen going out with somebody else.
No.
So
Makes total sense.
it's one of those things where if I had pursued her, I probably could have gotten that date. But
What's the cost versus?
I kind of let her decide what she wanted because I knew what I wanted. And if I was gonna waste my time trying to get her on a date, I could have just as well gone out with somebody else.
Well, I think you have to. If you get to that point where she'll text you, you guys are texting, you have to look at it as, what's the response? Are you getting one-word answers? Are you getting the K or a thumbs up? Because at that point, she's not interested. You have to learn how to read between the lines in these days. And there's so many different ways in context to talk to people. It's, if you read it wrong.
If they don't even know you, how could they already be saying that they're not interested if they don't even know you?
Some people are just bored. It's a very gratifying, quick satisfaction society now. You might be there to entertain them for that moment. You know what? Yeah, I'll give you my number, whatever. No big deal. But when that moment passes, or they sober up, or they just found someone else that's more interesting to them, it's done. You get the K or no response at all.
The weird thing with that girl was I ran into her at the bar a weekend before I moved across the country. And she walks in and sees me and walks over across the bar to talk to me and is commenting on, hey, you look good, and asking me what I've been up to. And she's kind of giving me all the tells like she's interested. And so I think the problem was that she didn't know what she wanted at the time. And she wasn't willing to go out with more than one person at the same time.
Well,
But she wasn't looking out for me at the bar. Like, she wasn't following me to make sure that I did go out with her.
No, it was just a random encounter that maybe she's in a different place at this point in time.
Yeah.
I mean, things can change. People can evolve.
When a woman goes out, does she already know what she wants to do that night? In terms of, like, tonight I want to get laid. Tonight I just want to have a beer. Tonight I just want to have friend conversation. Or
most definitely.
So when you go out, you're telling me that most women, or at least you, already knows whether any guy's going to have a chance to be with you.
No, not necessarily. I could be going out with my girls, having a great night. There could be this random off-the-wall person that just sparks my interest because he has something funny to say. And
like, is there an injury in your pants because your ass is kicking? Like that funny? Yeah,
no,
I got you.
Not that funny. Not that funny. Not a pickup line, but something funny to say that might catch my interest, and then I might give him my number and we might chat.
So, but for a girl, it's more than just the looks. Personality's got to be something.
Yeah.
For a guy, dumb as a box of rocks, like she looks hot. Okay, right?
I have dated dumb as a box of rocks, though, too.
Bro, so even you.
Yeah.
Like, you look good. Don't talk. Don't speak.
Yeah.
You're just here to look pretty. That's all you got to do.
That.
I think
and it doesn't last long.
No.
Because then there's only
Dealbreakers.
there's only one thing.
Segue.
It's a very, very savvy segue. Deal breakers. Okay, so if they have no personality.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big deal breaker.
Yeah, but see, like you said, if they're really good looking, you might stick with them for 2 weeks, maybe 3.
Yeah, but then it inevitably comes down to there's no substance. So they're really great to look at
and enjoy.
However,
On a physical standpoint, but
on a physical standpoint, but then when it comes to having actual conversation, what the hell are you going to talk about? Because all they want to talk about is the gym and working out, and it's retarded.
Hey, babe. Did you see my guns? How jacked they are today? I totally did arms. Babe, why are you crying? Babe, check this out.
What'd you do at work? Well, I don't know, but I can tell you what I did at the gym.
Yeah.
One of the worst compliments I ever got from a woman, very attractive girl. She goes, I am so friggin' tired of dating these really strong, good-looking muscle heads. I want to date someone just like you.
That's the epitome of a backhand compliment.
I'm not going to date someone good-looking or strong or muscles. I'm going to date someone like you.
Why can't I find a guy?
What does that exactly mean?
Why can't I find a guy that has your sweet personality but is just good looking? It's damn lady, thanks.
That's what I tell him. I got an 18-inch penis. That's what's the difference.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So what are?
So I have the top relationship deal breakers,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna play a little game.
Okay.
So the game is
Oh.
between men and women. Who is this reason for breaking up someone higher? So, for example, if let's take they're a meathead or too much into their body. Between men and women, who uses that as more of a deal.
So like it's like so the girl will break up with the guy because he's too into his body instead of hers.
Or a woman is too much in
To her looks.
to her body. And, okay.
Yeah.
So who does this affect more?
Okay, so here's first deal breaker. Disheveled or unclean appearance. Is it more of a deal for men or women?
It's a bigger deal for men. I think every man wants to make sure his woman looks good, and takes care of herself. It's a self-pride thing.
Okay, so you're men. What do you think?
I would think it's more men too, because I've dated guys that
Okay.
are kind of grungy.
I would think it's men too because men are much more visual.
yeah,
Sure.
very,
Just
very
by
much
just
more.
by upbringing.
So overall, 67% of the people interviewed said overall that it was a pretty big deal breaker. 71% of women, 63% of men. So that means that
Really?
men are less likely to break up with you because you're disheveled or bad appearance.
So
And
you,
know
so,
what,
so
though?
ladies, you can be a hot mess physically, like the way your appearance is, and most guys aren't going to care.
Most guys will give you a chance.
The stats don't lie.
You know what? I'm going to bring it down a few notches.
Okay,
Yeah.
exactly.
Exactly.
A guy's not going to break up
Exactly.
with you. Okay.
There we
Yeah,
go.
gym
Okay.
clothes
I'm
all the
not
time.
doing hair anymore.
That's
Deal breaker number
Susie's
2.
now phoning it in. By the way, it's
A deal breaker number 2 is being lazy. Lazy. Drew, men or women find that more of a deal breaker?
Oh man, I'm kind of a lazy person, and
And you have a girl.
I'm
so-
okay with lazy women, so I think that women probably have a harder time with lazy men.
I know I hate that. There's nothing in the world that I hate more
it's
than a lazy
it's a
person.
woman that has an issue with lazy men.
Oh, yeah.
60% of men, 72% of women think laziness is bad deal breaker.
Yeah.
Oh, bad.
Lacks a sense of humor. Susie.
My man would definitely need to have a sense of humor.
So
If you don't have
women,
a sense of humor, why the hell are we even talking?
That's true. If you
so
can't
women,
laugh at them, yeah.
Women for you. Okay,
Yeah.
Scotty.
Yeah, I think a woman has to have a sense of humor too, because like the opposite of Susie right there. If I can't talk and laugh with you, I gotta make that's the basis of any good relationship is being able to laugh and make
Oh,
jokes
yeah.
and go.
So you think men or women find it more of a deal breaker?
I think men probably do.
Men. Okay.
I don't know what I think. I think it's very close though.
Okay.
Because I definitely have had people I didn't click with on humor, where we both didn't appreciate each other. So I think it's pretty close.
Okay. So you don't want to commit to one or the other.
No.
58% of ladies find it a deal breaker. 50% of men. See, we're very accommodating. I'm learning men are willing to hang on to the bottom.
I think men
Well,
will.
because men,
Not to be alone.
all it is with men, as long as you give them sex, they're happy with anything. So
Well, that's
Oh.
whoa. Let's not get too crazy. Initially,
That's the
maybe.
truth. That's the
Initially.
truth. That's the truth.
Initially, I think
Come on.
it's not.
Come on.
I disagree wholeheartedly
That's-
on that.
come on.
I disagree
Oh,
wholeheartedly
let's
on
fight
that.
about everything, but I'll give you sex right now. Okay, it's good.
Yeah,
I
I would
hate you.
I would
Sex?
say that
Sure.
men in relationships probably have way more sex than single men, and so they will hold
yeah.
on
Oh, yeah.
to that sex.
Oh yeah.
But I disagree completely. I think if no, I think at some point a man's going to want a little bit more. As they get older, men are going to want more than just sex. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's just fun just to do it, but other times, if you're in a relationship, you're going to need to have more.
Okay.
I bet a
I-
man could last a lot longer with a woman over sex than a woman could last with a man.
Well, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
bad sex, not lack of sex, but bad sex. If that's a deal breaker,
Are we talking like sex? It's like cold pizza, even when it's bad, it's still pretty good. Or
I think Susie said it best. It's like having sex with a sibling. That's how bad it is.
ooh, I don't think she said that. I think she's like kissing your brother.
So, who do you think
I
would
just
deal
don't
break that
know.
more, men or women? Wow, that's silence.
I think it's women. Women, it's a deal breaker for women if it's not good for them.
Yeah.
Because
I'm done.
it takes a lot of work for
It's a lot of work.
it takes a lot of work to satisfy a woman.
A lot
Totally
of foreplay
disagree.
before even the act.
A woman,
Mm-hmm.
all she has to do is lie there.
Are you
Whoa.
freaking kidding
Whoa.
me?
I am totally
Drew,
serious.
Drew, take a step back.
No,
We're gonna let these two argue this one out real quick.
I'm being serious. All you have to do is lie there. A guy has to get ready. He has to be able to last longer than 20 seconds. He's got to make sure that you're getting what you need. What does a woman have to
before
do?
you ever do. That's the whole thing. We have to give you verbal cues of what you're doing and if it's accurate.
Oh, come
like
on.
you can't just do it without us letting you know if you're doing it right.
Well, hold
No,
on. Hold
that's
on.
not true.
That's not true.
That is
That's
not true.
Come
You
on
could
now.
you could
No,
lie
if-
there and we could be doing it totally wrong and still do it.
No. I think if you're paying attention to her body, to your body, and you're breathing, you know what's working and what's not working.
Right.
It's not
But
you.
you got to pay attention.
If you're doing it right, you're
not
paying
just-
attention. If you're phoning it in, it's bad sex.
Scott, have you ever faked an orgasm?
Yes.
Oh man.
Sometimes yeah. You know what? I'm not proud of it, but sometimes you just.
I think it's more common than men let on because I did that too with the first girlfriend I had.
Yeah. I mean,
It just there was one time where it just wasn't working out.
We don't even have to ask you, Susie, because we know. Anyways. Okay, so bad sex. You think women who breaks up more?
Most definitely women.
yeah, it's women. It's women all day.
Let's see. 50% of women,
Mhm.
44% of men. So once again, it proves your point. Guys will hang on for
So
good
where's
sex.
the other percentage if it's 50 and 44?
What I mean is that the percentage of women that and the people they surveyed
Oh,
who think that was a deal breaker.
okay.
So what about talks too much? Talks too much. First of all, is that a deal breaker?
No, it's not. If they talk about themselves too much, it can be.
Yeah, that's
But
not
I think it's a deal breaker for men.
That's more of a deal breaker.
Women on average speak 22,000 words a day. Men speak 7. So let that
7 only.
7,000 words. 7,000 words. Let that sink in for a moment. That's almost
Wait,
3
wait.
times the amount.
On a podcast, it's hard to picture what thinking is. So hold on. That's thinking.
All right.
Okay, so you think men break up with women over more than that?
I yes.
You know, that's a really tough one. I can't decide again, and maybe it's probably a little close. It might be within 10% like the rest of them though.
Wow. Okay. All right. Men or women?
What's this for? I'm sorry.
Talks too much. And remember,
Obviously.
22,007.
Obviously.
Obviously, yeah, obviously. I would say women not talk too much.
All right. Well, let's see. So for talk too much, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. 20% of women find that a deal breaker. 26% of men found that a deal breaker.
I would buy
So
those.
obviously, they don't think that's a big one.
No, I don't think so. All right. So what are some of your deal breakers, Susie? You and I are the only single ones
I have a
in
lot.
this conversation. So I guess we have to talk about our deal breakers because you guys are in committed
I have
relationships.
so
So
many.
so let's
Right?
discuss yours. Yeah.
Okay. Being bipolar.
Okay.
Crazy.
Mental illness. Yeah.
Mental-
And which is odd because I've dated like 3 bipolar people. So what does that say about me?
Maybe you're drawn to bipolar
I
people.
don't know.
You might need to lie on the couch and have Dr. Kern talk to you about your issues.
Let's see what else. Drugs. Definitely a deal breaker. Even marijuana.
If you
do it.
found out after, done.
Oh, done.
So
Most
we're dating for
definitely done.
6 months. Mom, this is the greatest guy in the
I've
world.
done that. I've dated a guy for 6 months, found out he's doing marijuana, and I was done.
Wow.
Yeah. Alcoholism, like you can drink, you can have a few drinks every now and then, but if they're drinking like a 6-pack, 12-pack every single night, there's something wrong with that. That's a huge deal
That's true.
breaker.
That's a good one.
That's true.
I said I have a lot of them. I told you I have a lot of them.
No, those are good though. So any
And
addiction,
lying is a huge deal breaker.
even little lies,
Even little lies. Mm-hmm.
really.
Yeah.
Would you want to know the truth even if it was bad?
Even if it's bad, most definitely.
One of the
Because
biggest
there
lessons.
might be a way. If you're coming to me and you're being a man and you're telling me I made this mistake or I did this or I did that, you're being a man coming to me, and me not finding out from the rest of town because it's a small town and you will.
Oh, it's true.
True.
That's true.
I think that's a huge thing coming to me as a man. But lying, that's a huge deal breaker.
Do you agree with hers?
Absolutely. I don't want to date anyone bipolar. I mean,
Oh, I have the best
I-
date story too about that.
I have a hard time handling someone with one personality, let alone 2 living
oh
up
my
there.
gosh.
The drinking, going out too much. I mean, and I know I go out. I don't. It's been a while since I've actually gone out, but I used to go out quite a bit because out of boredom. But I wasn't out drinking every night. I wasn't always at the bar. You know, if I was at Chili's, sometimes it's a Diet Coke or it's a water. I'm just watching a game just to get out of the house. But if you're always at the bar, if you're at the Fireside or the Sporties or some other local establishment and you're always drinking, that's a deal breaker. It's like, what's that say about you? Find some other hobbies.
Yeah.
You know, girls that only want to talk about themselves, that are just one-dimensional. They don't ask about anything else, nor do they care. That's a huge deal breaker. And honestly, I think cleanliness is. Do you take care of your? Yeah. Do you take care of yourself? Do you take care of the stuff you have? And and I'll admit, on a personal level, sometimes I've let things go that I should have taken care of at home a little bit quicker, sooner. But it's that life gets in the way. But overall, do you keep a clean appearance and clean lifestyle?
Hey, dogs! What the hell, we're recording here.
Frankie.
Both of you, Drew.
I would say the biggest deal breaker that I've encountered is not being like their own person, needing to rely on
Ooh, yeah.
That's a
me
good
too
That's a
much,
good one, yeah.
trying to live
Yeah.
vicariously with me.
I'll do whatever you want to do tonight.
Right?
What do you want to do? You decide. You tell me. Oh, fuck that. Just tell me what you want to do just one time.
Yeah, because I've had
Fucking make a decision.
I've had a couple people where I date them for a very short time and they'd get clingy, and it's like, okay, why are you so
you brew
clingy?
beer? I want to brew beer too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it usually turns out that the person really just doesn't have their own identity yet,
Yeah.
and they need to learn to be their own person.
And that leads to another deal breaker. It's not wanting any time for yourself, always wanting to be the other person, just always being clingy. Like, I like my own time. I think we all here like our own time. Like, I need to be able to go to the gym by myself. I need to be able to, if I want to go to the bar and have a beer and just sit there and think, I'm going to do it. I don't want to have to, like, come on, do you want to go to the bar? Or, come on, are you going? I want to go. Come shopping with me. I can't do that, man. Take some you time, because I need some me time.
Oh yeah, and I definitely agree with that. I'm the kind of person where I could be by my girlfriend most of the day, except for when we're at work or whatever. And luckily, we've got the relationship where we can sit on the couch and read and be okay with the proximity and be okay with doing solo activity.
I think that's what you want. I think as long as you're spending time with someone because you're still in the same vicinity, you can still have your own interest. You can still be reading or working, if you will, because that's a level of comfortness in your relationship.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing.
I always had a problem with people who didn't know how to manage their money. I don't know why. That bothers me when people are spending way beyond their means and then they're in financial problems. It's I don't like that.
Yeah. I think
And that's one of those ones you can keep secret, huh?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, oh, I just lost the car. Where's the car, honey? I've made a payment in 12. Really?
I think it goes back for me. It goes back to the little crazy because I listened to some of the women my brother's dated, and maybe he's a rare case because he's kind of a special deal on his own. But he's found some real nut jobs, And I've watched him get in fights with women over nothing. And in reality, it wouldn't be anything in my role. It would have been, this is what it is, knock it off. He went through a 6-hour breakup about 2 years ago. She had
6 hours?
6 hours.
Oh,
a 6-hour breakup.
So this was like Fellowship of the Rings extended edition,
And then the second
walking in one direction for 6 hours.
You went nerd status squared with that because my brother's a nerd and he actually used a very similar simile to that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she showed up one night and he said we were done and she didn't accept it and she went through this is why it's not over and he just kept saying he is a man of iron will. I will give him credit. But she tried to refuse the breakup. It was a 6-hour ordeal.
How many times did they have sex during the breakup?
I'm going to assume 0 because when he shuts down and he shuts out, he's done, man. He's out. He's careless. Take your cats. Ironically, he dated this woman for a couple months and never set foot in her house. She practically moved in with him, and he never even went to pick her up at her place. So for all we know, she had wedding albums with his head cut out from online pictures pasted on the groom's or the bride. I don't know. She was kind of weird.
Does anyone have a deal breaker with someone who doesn't have a close relationship with their family?
I do. I think that's a huge deal.
I don't know why that bothers
And
me
I've
too.
dated people that don't have close relationships with their family, and I can honestly say, it didn't last because they didn't have that closeness with them, and they could not
Yeah.
develop that closeness with me.
Let me just clarify
I,
that because
I definitely agree.
I am tight with my parents, my brother, and my grandpa. The rest of my family, I could give a fuck about. And it's no offense. I talk to my cousins, but my aunts, my uncles, I'm just terrible at keeping in touch, and there's too much freaking drama, so I just don't deal with it.
I'm talking
Drama,
more
I
about
don't
your
like.
parents, like parents direct.
Yeah,
family,
your direct
because,
family.
I
Yeah.
mean, distant cousins. I'm not close to them either, but I was married to a woman who had no relationship with her family, and now that I look back, realizing that she was the reason,
Yeah.
it says a lot to me, man.
I could see that. I've never had that problem, but I've been on the opposite side where someone had no independence from their family.
Oh,
And that was
Oh, man.
equally difficult, just in a different way, because we constantly had to go over to her parents' house, and because we lived together for a while, and we ended up doing laundry at their house, and it's like, oh, we got to go do laundry. It's like, how about you do laundry?
Are you thinking what I'm thinking with this?
I think I'm thinking what you're thinking.
Our interns have something in common.
Two interns,
Same problem. Same dilemma, yeah. Yeah. Our other intern, JP, had a very similar situation where he spent
Every weekend for 5 years,
5 years in
up
Meadview.
in Meadview.
which is an hour north of town.
Because
here.
his girlfriend at the time and her mother wanted to go shopping together, so they would leave him at the house with Dad, who looked like he was probably just drinking himself to death because he didn't like life either.
On a side note, that's where JP learned to drink like a fish. So if you're ever in a shot contest
True.
with him, stay away.
Okay, so would you guys like to know what the number one deal breaker was from this group that was asked?
Yes.
Are we allowed to take guesses?
Yes, one deal breaker, and I will tell you that
Their partner was already married.
It hasn't been mentioned?
It has not been mentioned.
I'm gonna say kids. I think
Okay.
it's 2017.
Some people-
It's 2017. There are a lot of people who still do not want kids because of personal
Very good
reasons, or they just don't like other people's kids.
I would say girlfriend or boyfriend. If they have a girlfriend or boyfriend.
I would say a terrible kisser.
Okay, so
Yes. Yes.
let's see. So I gotta find it here because I had it right here. So having kids or dealing with kids was like 11 from the
Oh.
top. In a relationship or in married, number 4.
Four.
There were three
Bad-
bigger than that.
Wait.
Bad kisser didn't even make it.
Serious?
Oh, you suck, Scott.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
So number 3 isn't trustworthy. I think you mentioned
We
that.
covered that.
Number
Uh,
3.
2, which kind of goes with yours, dating multiple partners. So
Yeah.
like you and someone else.
Yeah.
Playing the field.
Not good.
Number 1 reason to deal break: anger issues and abusive.
Oh,
said that.
Yeah.
I guess
Why
that makes
didn't
sense.
I
That's a
say
pretty good one
that?
because
That's a good
I've
one, yeah.
always had a problem with people who have anger problems, man. That's
Yeah,
a
I
big
guess
deal.
it's one of those things where you don't think about it till you see it, and then you hightail it.
And then you're like, oh, damn.
yeah. That's a hindsight's always 20/20 conversation.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I dated a woman who had road rage really bad, and it got annoying.
You dated someone with road rage? That's weird because I dated someone with roid rage.
It's funny.
We'll get them
Oh
together.
my gosh.
So one of the last things I want to talk about here on this episode: red flags. We've talked about deal breakers. We've talked about pickup lines. Now we have gone through the gamut of you've met the person of the opposite sex. You have screened them for deal breakers. Now you are into the relationship. When do you start seeing red flags, or what do you consider a red flag? Like, you know what? Maybe this isn't working for me.
I do know that when you start to feel that sense of the intimacy is gone, I start to get a red flag that they might be seeing someone else.
Okay, that's a very good point, because when the communication slows down and when they get less touchy feely, you can tell that maybe.
No, it's more than that. I don't know if anyone's had that experience, but
Yeah.
you just know. Women have an intuition.
Oh,
They
yeah.
know. They know something is not right, or something. You didn't answer that question like you normally do. Something must be up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I don't. And I. That's a red flag to me.
Yeah.
It's amazing how our senses are in tune to what's going
See, the
on.
weird thing is, though, okay, so once you start being intimate with someone, those red flags, you'll see them, and then you kind of put them in the back. You're like,
Do you try to
okay,
justify them?
Well, you try to justify them, or you'll address them, things will happen, and then you'll just kind of be like, okay, I'll push them back because I really do care for this person. But I can tell you that I dated someone that you would ask this person anything that you knew was true, if they were doing something shady, instantly start yelling at you.
Oh.
Instantly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know, if they're going to instantly start yelling at you,
Yeah.
there's
Or get
something
defensive.
It's a defense
Yeah.
mechanism.
And
Yeah.
I'm not saying just yelling at you, like raising your voice. I'm saying like yelling at you top of your lungs. I don't even speak because I'm like, that's just gonna make him even more angry.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's a huge red flag. If someone yells at you when you're just asking a simple question in the voice that I'm using right now, there's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
What about you, Scott?
I'd say for me, it's if they have no interest in your interests or no interest in trying to learn about your
Ooh,
interests.
that's a good one.
Like, I try to stay active. I try to stay fit. I try to keep, I cook. If I'm dating someone and they have no interest in either trying this out, or trying to make a meal together, just doing something to that extent, just they want to do their own thing and they could care less what I do, and they want no common interest, that's a red flag.
I also don't like it when they always are hiding their phone.
Yeah.
Like they're texting people or texting. Who are you talking
That's
to?
a big one.
No one.
Yeah.
Lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
If you're with somebody, you should have no secrets. You should be able to put your phone out there and just look through it. Check it out. And that's the bottom line. It's like, look at what I'm saying. Look who I'm talking to. This is what I said, because you shouldn't be sending inappropriately.
Exactly.
Unless
I
she's
agree.
really hot.
You
Then
said-
I don't-
shut
nothing you
your
can
mouth.
do.
I don't
You
think
shut
it
your mouth.
works either way. If you're with somebody, it's a no go. You do not do that. So if you start,
I
you
agree.
get secretive, you start hiding stuff. Yeah.
I think about. Do you remember the guy Bernie Madoff?
Yeah.
In that big Ponzi scheme.
Well, yeah, most definitely.
Could you imagine what his wife must have been thinking when it all came out that he was stealing all this money for all those years, and everything in their life came alive?
You think she didn't know that?
I bet you she didn't. If she
I
was
don't
stay-at-home
think she
mom,
did.
she probably didn't know one
Oh,
lick of what
I
was
disagree.
going on in the financial market.
I think that's a case of you have to be smart enough to pick up on certain key things in a relationship. It might not be your world, but you know what your husband's up to. And
No, but if you're a stay-at-home mom, you don't know what the heck. Like, I can tell you right now, my sister's a stay-at-home mom. Doesn't know what her husband's doing at work.
is your husband
She
pulling?
knows-
Is her husband pulling in 10
No,
figures?
he's military. No, he's military. But I know right now she can tell you what his job title is. Can she tell you what he's doing all day long?
But
No.
this goes back to, generally there's the old saying that the administrative assistant to the CEO is really the one that runs the company because they have all the ins and the outs. It's a very similar situation in this case. I'm assuming you don't think so?
No, he conned too many smart people. I don't think his wife. If he was selling that he was making all these returns to investors, why would the wife question that all these returns were legitimate?
Yeah, well, that's a good
He
point.
did it for 30 years, 25 years.
And after a while, I'm sure she just got blinded by the money and didn't care as long as the money kept coming in.
Yeah, I think for 30 years, if someone had that nagging feeling that something was not right, I think they would be out within
Right.
30 years.
Most definitely.
He would have had to have been just a very good con man and kept it away from his wife. She just wasn't in the know. It's possible that he just sent her on vacation and she didn't think of it.
Is it possible she knew and she said if you don't keep the money flowing in, they had their own separate lives, and I won't divorce you, I won't tell anybody else, but you're going to pay me this pretty penny, I'm going to do what I want to go do.
I mean,
I heard
she
that's-
literally probably had him by the balls.
Literally, yeah.
Well, and I heard that's how Warren Buffett and his wife, they don't really have a life together, but they don't get divorced because you've been together 65 years and just keep the money coming.
Yeah. I mean, at that
Wow.
point, if you're checked out and you've been together for that long, it's...
I just think of that
That's
betrayal,
sad.
and I'm sure there's betrayals very similar to that, where you find out someone who you care about and you love is living a double life, or has the wife and a family, and
Well, I think anytime you find out that someone you really care and love about is lying to you or not being truthful to you, hurts. Because if you have that intimate relationship with somebody that you want to be able to tell them anything and everything, and you assume they're doing the same for you, to find out they're not,
right.
and they're running out with somebody else, man, that ruins your world. That breaks your world. It's hard to come back from that.
Well, it's also tough because when you deal with people like that who make you believe a lie for a long enough time, those people make you question your reality.
Most definitely.
You start to wonder if you're a good judge of anything, if you can trust what anybody has ever said to you. It really messes with your head
Yeah.
to find out that you've been gaslighted like that.
And generally, I go with the philosophy of I will trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you. And then when I don't trust you, I'm going to start to look at everything and question everything.
Well, and depending on the situation, some people are so manipulative, they'll make you think that there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, you're the problem, right?
That why are you asking these questions or why are you making these accusations? Because there's something wrong with you. They're not doing anything wrong.
And sometimes they'll just act like Teflon and be like, I don't know why you're getting so personal about it.
Yeah.
Is that a flag, though, we should say from now on to our viewer or listeners that, hey, if your boyfriend or girlfriend says that you're the problem,
Yeah, maybe you should
red
look,
flag.
You should look at what the real problem is.
Right.
Maybe it's not you. Maybe it is them.
I mean, sometimes you are the problem and someone has to tell you. But I think if someone's going to tell you you're the problem, they're going to tell you in a way that's constructive.
That's called an intervention. When you show up to the house and we have a banner made and we're all holding letters, Drew, we're doing this because we love you. So just
This is
remember
how
that.
your actions affected me in the following way.
Yeah.
Scott, I really wish you would just stop using all the peanut butter.
Why is it chunky?
Oh, because it just works better. Moving right along, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. I don't know if we've solved all the world's problems, but I think we definitely discussed the ins and the outs of red flags and pickup lines. We heard some great ones. Suzy, it's been fantastic having you on the show.
Well, thank you so much.
Your door is open. You're always welcome to sit in and talk with us, to talk about anything you want to talk about. We are open to any topic here in the world here at Liquid Carnage. Drew, stand-up job stepping in for our intern again. You are now intern number 1 because you've attended more recordings than intern number 2.
Oh, it's an honor.
It's an honor to be promoted based on numbers.
Do I get paid more?
Yes. We have just doubled your salary.
Oh,
You get 2 cookies
two
now.
beers.
Yeah.
instead of 1 kid.
You get 2 beers on the stash you brought. So that's about all the time we have for today. Jason, do you have any closing thoughts?
No, just I'd be interesting to get your take out there at Liquid Carnage. Go ahead and drop us red flags, deal breakers, pickup lines, anything that you want to drop on this one. We've had some great topics, great discussion. I'm Jason.
I'm Scott, and remember, if you're ever nervous out there in the world, a little Liquid Carnage will get you on your way.